If you want to get the most out of your sets, then you need to come into the gym focused. Otherwise, you're going to have to do more sets to get the same result. If we're distracted, if we're not focused, then we're not going to be able to allow our body to go to the level it needs to go of exhaustion. And so then we're going to have to do other sets to get there. So when I do my sets, I go into what I call machine mode. When I'm starting the set or ending the set, everything is very consistent with timing, with range of motion. I'm not shorting myself in the set to just get it over with. What I'm thinking is I want to make this set as perfect as possible. So when I say machine mode, it's because I want to stay consistent throughout the entire range of the set. And so I'm trying to block out everything else. And just for these 2 minutes, I'm going to stay in this mode. I'm not thinking about my day, not thinking about the 500 things I have to do after this set. I'm only thinking about this set and what I need to do to get it done. If you are trying to take yourself to exhaustion within a single set, then you want to make that set as perfect as you possibly can. When I start a set, I'm just thinking about the muscles I'm training within this set. I'm gonna focus here on my triceps, I'm gonna focus here on center of my chest, and obviously front head of my shoulder is going to be targeted as well. So if you're in your set, then stay in your set and be laser focused forward. If I'm here in the chest press, I'm going to be looking straight ahead because I don't want to alter my set in any sort of way. I want to get the best bang again for my exercise buck, and that is by using proper form, going through the full range of motion, being laser focused about how I do my sets. This is what the chest press would look like if I was laser focused. So even as I get out here, I'm already thinking about starting my turnaround. So I didn't want to pause out there. I bring myself almost to the point of touching the plates. And then again, I'm at the same speed I started at. And I do my turnaround. Slow and controlled, don't lock out my elbows. I mean, it's really good to find a point of reference you can stare at while you're training and just keep your focus there during the entire duration of the set. So even now with this weight not being that heavy, it's getting hard because I'm focused on making it hard. I'm thinking about my triceps. I'm thinking about center of my chest. I'm thinking about front head of my shoulders. I'm also thinking about form. So as this starts to get hard, I'm thinking, okay, now my shoulders are gonna wanna hike. Keep them down. When you start to fatigue, I think that's when you really gotta dig in deep and focus, because that's when your body is gonna be wanting to send every signal to stop. So when you get to that point where if you're going along and you're in machine mode, and you're like, oh, this isn't that bad. And then suddenly you're like, oh my God, this is really bad, but I want to do this set well. That's really when you got to kick in to that gear. Because in the beginning, you're not fatigued. You're stronger than the weight that's set. But as you proceed through the set, you're now going to match the weight of the set, or you're going to become weaker than the weight that's set. And that's when you kind of got to turn on the machine mode, because at the point that you're now weaker than the weight that's set, you're going to want to shift your body. And that's where you got to kind of fight that urge and say, nope, I'm just in here for a minute 30. I want to make this perfect. And so you just go back into that laser focus, especially towards the end, which is probably going to be around the 1 minute mark. If I'm just, going through the motions, I'm sort of short ranging myself. It's not going to be very effective. And then if you're trying to just, train your muscles once or twice a week, you're going to start to wonder why why you're not getting the result you want, why you're able to keep increasing the weight, because you keep doing a horrible set. You might not need to increase the weight at all if the set is done well. So it's not always about the weight. The weight is just a tool to get you to exhaustion. But some people are so focused on the number and the weight going up that they will sacrifice, the machine mode. They'll just, I gotta get more. Oh, that was a good set. I should have set it heavier. And then next week when they come, they'll set it heavier. But had they done the set properly, the set probably would have taken them down to exhaustion. And then next week they would know to either set the weight the same or maybe make a small increase if they were able to get through the entire set without exhaustion. It's interesting because when people say I work just my shoulders or one body part for some god awful number, then you're thinking, well, if you had just focused for, a very short amount of time with that laser focus, I bet you could have gotten away with a lot less than, say spend a whole entire half hour on just shoulders. But if you're trying to be efficient and effective with your time, then I would say laser focus while you're in here and you will get a much better result. So the next time you go to the gym, think I'm going to be a machine today. See how it feels. See if your body doesn't respond and get a better result when you do your sets like that. So if you have any questions, you can leave me a comment or you can reach out to me at my Instagram at All Women Have Muscles.